So there has been absolutely no collusion. It's been stated that they have no collusion. They ought to get to the end of it because I think the American public is sick of it.
One thing we've learned for sure today is we are not at the end of it. That's for sure. That was President Trump just 2 weeks ago with a familiar denial that he's repeated again today on Twitter as well. But today also made clear that potential collusion is still a question and still a part of Bob Mueller's investigation. So where do we go from here? Back to the panel. Reed, let's go to Capitol Hill for a second. 3 committees have been investigating, and all along the conversation with the investigations happening on Capitol Hill, we're like, where is our lane versus Bob Mueller's lane? All right, we have some view of where Bob Mueller's lane at least includes. How does this impact their investigation? How can it not impact their investigation?
Well, I think to Hank's point earlier, we're at a place now where the investigations of this are even breaking down along partisan lines. A lot of Ds and Rs are deciding to go their own way and charting what is now just going to look like a partisan investigation, which is not good for the American political system at all. And the thing that actually really worries me, you mentioned that this whole thing started with trying to find collusion with Russia. It actually started with the fact that the Russians tried to influence our election system, hacked into a bunch of state election offices and voter rolls and things like that, and we haven't dealt with that yet. We've got an election that's a year away, and I spend a lot of my time talking to these election administrators in states and all this. They are not prepared. Some of these people are running antiquated software that I mean, I don't know anything about computers and I could hack into them. The fact is, there is a very real challenge here that goes beyond even the Mueller investigation or what's happening on Capitol Hill, and it threatens the very integrity of our democracy.
That is a key point. But let me ask this on this whole idea of congressional investigation, but Bob Mueller especially. If this is the low-hanging fruit, Papadopoulos and Paul Manafort, what's next? What are you looking for next?
Well, you know, it's very interesting, but I think you're going to see a lot of other low-hanging fruit facing similar charges, and the charges lying to the FBI or lying to federal investigators. Because if they're having trouble making out the collusion, conspiracy to tamper with the election case, the thing they're left with is a cover-up, obstruction of justice, or lying to the FBI. So I think a lot of people maybe have been trying to protect a friend, and they tell a lie and they get indicted.
That was enough-ish to bring Nixon down. But you're saying we're in very different times.
It's a very different period of time. Both parties are in very serious trouble as institutions. They're breaking down. How media responds to people and how people are responding to the media is very different. Unfortunately for CNN and everybody else, viewership by men on the quarter-hour basis is down. So where are people getting their information from? If there is not somebody that gets directly to the people engaged, the leaders of this, the White House, it's going to be very hard. So where do you go from here? Low-hanging fruit, and FARA is low-hanging fruit. How many consultants do you get?
Yeah, FARA is.
How many consultants do you get that can talk?
You have to say that you are a foreign agent. You're lobbying for a foreign country.
Just like in the Watergate thing, there'll be somebody who cracks this.
One of the big questions over the weekend, rumors over the weekend, was that Donald Trump would now was considering now moving to fire Mueller, like he fired Comey. At this point, do you think he should?
No, I don't think Donald Trump's going to fire Mueller. I think at the end of the day, Robert Mueller will not get where he wants to go, Kate. I really believe that.
You keep implying Bob Mueller has these motives. I mean, Bob Mueller was
he
just
does have a
signed.
motive.
He was assigned to investigate it. And if he doesn't get there, he doesn't get there. You don't know where he wants to be.
When I investigate, I had a motive as an investigator to get to the truth, okay? But when I say that, I mean that Bob Mueller's going to try to get to the truth. And I believe, and many believe, that the truth is there was no collusion. There was no conspiracy.
Well, you're just implying like he's not going to get there, and you're suggesting that he wants to actually bring down the president or something.
I never said that. I never said that. No one's ever. I said that Bob Mueller, as an investigator, wants to get to the end of this investigation.
No, okay.
All right?
I will play you back the tape later. That is not what you said. I have a question for you, though, Hank.
Sure.
It's supposed to be tax week.
Yeah.
Paul Ryan says this is not going to derail them. How can it not?
They've got to get something done, and if they don't get something done, the problem is not for the president. The problem is for the House and Senate when they go back to districts and back to states. Nothing gets accomplished. Ryan's going to have to answer it. Can they get something done? Likely not. Okay, the problems around that tax bill are not insignificant.
Even before they had this coming down?
Because when you take out a piece of legislation and you hurt a particular group, the entitlement has a constituency.
One fascinating thing: Democrats right now have started polling on Paul Ryan's favorability. They found in a lot of these swing districts, Ryan's numbers are even below Nancy Pelosi's.
No one's liked. I think that's the only thing that we know now. Sure. Great to see you all. Thank you so much. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Day 284 of President Trump's administration. That's the State of America tonight.